What's up, guys? This is Brian coming at you on February 2nd, 2020. Just finished watching the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs. Excited they won. But besides that, I was up a little late tonight and had a hard time going to bed. Just a lot of thoughts going through my mind. A lot of good stuff. We had a really good weekend. I wanted to share a video on something that I've been thinking about for years now. And the video, as you see in the title, is called I Hate Being a Father. And even saying those words is really difficult because that sounds really bad, especially in our culture, you know, where being a father is lifted up, especially when you're a good father. And saying something like that can be productive for what society says we should be. But the reason I named this video that is because I have a son and a daughter. My son is 8, my daughter is 4. I love them to death. However, when I had my son in 2011, I actually Googled that phrase into Google, probably in either towards the end of 2011, maybe 2012. And I think the biggest reason that I Googled that is because I had a hard time enjoying fatherhood. I think it wasn't so much that I hated it, because I look back on it, as we do many things in life, right? And you're like, wow, that wasn't that bad, or wow, that was really great. And there was a lot of fun moments. Bringing them home was fun, you know, just having the kids a hug and kiss and have a great time with was a lot of fun. But at the same time, my personality type, I'm very type A. If you see my previous videos, you know I'm a business owner. I love that. That's just really great. I'm passionate about it, my career and things like that. And having a kid kind of interrupted my plans into what I wanted to do. And so I wasn't excited when my wife told me we were having a kid. It wasn't a planned situation. It just happened, right? As it does most of the times. And so when my wife told me, I wasn't excited. I was really scared because I had just made a decision. I wanted to do a business. And when my wife told me she was pregnant, in my mind, I just had all these thoughts like, oh man, like, you know, when my kid is here, I'm not going to really have time to do that. Me and my wife can't have alone time anymore, you know, all these things. So that was very difficult from the very jump. And I was just really scared, you know. I wasn't where I wanted to be in my career. I was still doing computer programming and things like that, and driving, you know, an hour, 2 hours to work, hour, 2 hours back, stuck in traffic. And it was very difficult for me, to say the least, just emotionally being in a situation. I had the golden handcuffs on where I was making a good living for our family, but at the same time, I was getting fired from different jobs just because they was paying me all this money. And my heart wasn't into it, you know, not that I did anything shady at the job, but when they're paying you a lot of money in corporate America, they expect your heart to be into it. And mine wasn't. And so, you know, as anybody would do, they had let me go. So I was just going through a lot. And to find out that we were having a kid, I'm like, oh man, this is, you know, I really want to do this business thing. This is going to hinder it. And so when my kid came, my son, his name is Elijah. If you're watching this, what's up, Elijah? Love you, man. But when he came through, it was fun. You know, I remember bringing him home, all really good memories. I think I just didn't feel like emotionally excited about spending time and doing all these things that dads are supposed to do. And I felt very guilty about that, especially being a Christian man and wanting to give to my son and, you know, teach him and things like that, which I was excited about that a little bit. But I think overall, I had a very hard time with just being excited to do things. I would always try. One thing about me, I'm always going to put in the effort. I'm always going to try. Even to this day, you know, I try. And so I Googled that. I went online and I was like, man, is there anybody else who feels this way, that just is not feeling this fatherhood thing? You know, I want to do my own thing. I want to, you know, create projects, you know, whether it's dance, business, whatever it may be. I just wanted to create. I wanted to have my own time. I miss spending time with my wife and just being able to go out whenever. You know, we have this kid who really, as a baby, didn't really give back so much, you know. So that was very difficult. So I Googled that. And there was one blog I did find that was encouraging because there were other fathers that related. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. You know, other dads that related to that feeling. And so I feel like I wanted to make a video on that just for those who do struggle with being a father or may feel like, man, I don't like this or this is hard. You're not alone, you know, for sure. It's, you know, I felt that where I'm at now is a very different space where it's still, for me, honestly, it's hard. You know, I don't wake up every day. I wasn't one of those dads even to this day where I'm like, man, being a dad is the best thing ever, you know. And I see all these people, you know, man, like where people saying, hey, my greatest day is when I watch my kid get born. And, you know, I don't feel that way. I didn't have those emotions like that, right? I appreciated that. That was an amazing day, you know, seeing my kids come out of the womb. You know, I mean, it was great. It was great seeing that. But I think where I was in life at the time, emotionally, I just, you know, it wasn't the most exciting thing. There was a lot of guilt. So if you're there, you're definitely not alone. Where I'm at now is, I think what helped me the most, where I'm at now, first off, is a good place. It's a better place. It's a better place. Me and my son, we actually have once a month guys days where we kind of hang out. We call them guys days, and we'll go. He likes Korean barbecue now, and we do stuff like that. And, you know, or we'll go watch a movie, or, you know, we play miniature golf before. And so we go do stuff like that. And sometimes, again, sometimes it's great. Other times it's not. But we literally, after 8 years, just had the first one maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I felt like, wow, that was like the funnest time we ever had together, like ever. And that was really cool to feel that, because I hadn't felt that in like 8 years. It was fun to hang out, and I knew I was doing the right thing, but not, you know, when you hang out with a friend and you leave and you're like, man, that was great. I can't wait till the next time. That just happened with me and my son after 8 years, you know? And so I think any encouragement I would give any dad, like, you know, do what's right, you know, keep doing the right thing. Because if you do what's right, God will always bless that. You know, and I feel like that's the lesson I've taken away. And what I see is if you keep pursuing and keep pushing forward and keep putting in the work and the time and the effort, that it will pay off, you know, that God will allow your heart to open up. And my heart has opened up more, and I've accepted myself more. I'm a very type A. And so when we do things, it has to be things that I enjoy. And of course, you know, that he enjoys too, but it has to be something I enjoy. You know what I mean? I'm taking him out, I'm spending the time and money and things like that. So it has to be something that I really enjoy doing, that we both, you know, really can connect and bond over. And it's a lot of trial and error, I would say too. You know, it's a lot of trial and error, but the goal is not to give up. And I know that's a very generic answer, for things like this, you know, like, you know, just don't give up, keep trying, like keep going, you know. But it's not just that. I think, you know, it pays off. And I think there's been a lot of men in my life that have helped me, mentors, peers that I've talked to and been open and honest about with these things. And that's helped tremendously, to be able to go back to some of these guys and just be like, hey, I had this time with my son. It was so awesome, you know, and they know the struggle that I've been through with that. So if you're in that boat and you feel like you're just hating being a dad, you're not alone. You know, it's real. I can't say whether it's right or wrong, or, you know what I mean, anything like that. I would say, I don't know, what would I tell my younger self then? I would just say keep pushing and find things that you like to do. You know, sometimes you got to do that. You know, sometimes it's not all about the other person. It's about you, because you're the one doing it. So find things that you like to do, you know, that you specifically like to do. Visualize too, like what that would be. What would like the perfect time with your son be, you know, or your daughter? You know, would it be going to a park, or would it be watching a movie, or, you know, whatever it is for you? I don't like parks. I'm not a park guy. I feel like I go to the park, my son is playing, and I'm just kind of sitting there. You know, I like to, me personally, you know, either do the movies. I love to go out and eat. You know, eating is really great. Even though I dance for a living, we don't do a lot of that together, because I don't really envision us doing that. I love to walk. I love to take walks like on a beach or nature walks and things like that. So doing those type of things with my son, you know, I love aesthetically pleasing areas to go to. I love the town centers, you know what I mean? I love my nature walks, but I love, you know, hanging out at the town center too. So just stuff like that, you know, whatever that is for you. And it may not seem like the typical thing that every dad is doing, you know, whether it's like, oh, I'm playing baseball with my kid, or I'm taking them to the park, you know, very, you know, common things that dads do. You may not be that dad, you know, you may be the dad that says like, hey, you know, let's go grab something to eat, or, you know, hey, let's go hang out at the mall. You know, that's something I like to do too. We'll go at the mall, we'll have See's candy. So yeah, that's what I would say. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, let me know. I would love to answer those, maybe make a follow-up video to this. Don't forget to subscribe, all of that good stuff, so I can keep making this stuff. All right. Love you guys. Have a good night. Peace.